Welcome to the Houston Hustle, the podcast that spotlights the movers, the makers, and the doers shaping the city we love. Each week, we sit down with Houston's top entrepreneurs to talk who they are, how they built it, the principles that drive them, and what success means beyond the highlight reel. This is real hustle, real stories, real Houston. Welcome to Houston Hustle. I'm Dr. Paige Ward.
And I'm Dr. Charlie Ward.
And today we have Josh and Sergio from OdderTech. So tell us about who you are, what you do.
I'm Josh, as you said. We do IT.
Okay.
It's the long and short of it. I mean, it goes into a lot more of that. You break it down, but it's mostly printers.
Printers?
No, it's not. But anytime anyone has any IT issues, computers, updates, anything that Windows 11 breaks, which is pretty common, printer issues, setting up cameras, running Ethernet cables, we do cybersecurity, antivirus. If you think like, wow, that's nerdy, we do it. And that's sort of like main thing. And then I have I do the more custom computers.
Okay. I think I saw something on your Instagram.
Yeah, custom computers, keyboards. We have like our 3D section.
Like 3D printing.
What do you like? Little fidget toys.
I was going to ask, you see all those at like the farmers markets and stuff.
Yeah, we make some cool ones.
Okay, very cool. Where do you sell those?
We sell them on our TikTok show.
I knew
we sell them
you
at conventions. We do really well at all the nerd anime stuff. Conventions we do really well at.
I love that. Okay, well, how did y'all get started?
One of my friends roped us into a whole IT business because he had an office. He's like, hey, y'all should come work here.
Yeah.
And it all kind of came together.
What was that?
2023.
We started off in May of 2023, and then I joined in July of 2023.
Mm-hmm.
So just a few months after.
Okay, awesome. So where are you wanting the business to go?
Just to keep growing, more people, reaching out to more people in Houston. Growing from right now, we service mostly individuals and small businesses, like y'all.
Yes.
Just a few people in an office, like 10 to 20, like max.
Mm-hmm.
And then I keep growing, get more employees, get more, just reach out into the community.
Okay.
It'd be nice to leave like Houston and to grow into like Austin and Dallas and all that, but we do love Houston, so kind of.
And you can do all of that stuff like virtually. Okay, that makes
just
sense.
like remoting into people's computer.
Yes.
Even to like South Houston, we do that sometimes just
Okay.
because it takes 2 hours. To get
Yeah, no,
from
I
north
mean,
to south.
that's insane. So absolutely, I understand that. So what is one of the hardest things that you have experienced since starting a business? Competition.
Just getting noticed is
yes.
the thing, because there's a lot of the big guys that seemingly take care of everyone.
Yeah.
And just getting into that space, we've actually we've gone from online, we've done like Angie's List and all that, and then we just started going door to door, just talking to people.
You did?
Yeah.
You went door to door? How did it go?
Some welcomes. Hey, we love you guys here, and we'll give you our business. I'm not saying they call security, but someone called security.
Yeah.
You hop on an elevator, security guy's like, hey, sir, I'm gonna have to ask you, please.
Yeah.
He knows once.
Yeah. No,
Twice.
it was one time where Josh walked into to a building. Well, we had both walked into the building, and
Flyers in hand.
yeah, flyers in hand, security guard is like, where are you going? Josh is like, oh, we're going to the 5th floor to meet someone. And sure enough, he's like, there's no one in the 5th floor.
Of all the floors, you picked the 5th
Yeah.
floor.
I'm like, Josh, you could have picked anything, but you picked the top floor.
So we got some good luck with just meeting our neighbors and then giving us support for saying like, oh, we don't need anything now, and then a week later
They'll need something. Something happens with their computer, we'll just go and take care of it.
Yeah.
we have updates, and all of a sudden nothing works. And,
Right.
okay, we got it.
No, that's good. That's actually really good grassroots type way to get your name out there. So you've done Angie's List, you've done door to door. What else have you done to get yourself out there?
As far as there's like kind of two parts to the company, pitch in different ways: the professional IT side of the small businesses and setting up all the computers, cybersecurity, antivirus, very important things. And then there's the other part where I build anime computers. So like putting that on Reddit, we'll see that more than if we put the IT part on Reddit.
So
Different customers is yeah.
do you do those at like comic conventions? Like, okay, and you set those up there.
And I think we've had once or twice where we were at like some anime thing, and a small business owner was just talking to us, and he's like, "Oh, y'all do IT too?" Because we were flyers out there. I the customer in the IT part, but Yeah. Usually to get customers, we just walk or talking to people.
Mhm.
Or somebody knows someone that
Yeah.
Do you feel like that was outside of your comfort zone, or do you feel like you're just pretty social?
very outside. So,
Yeah.
never done door to door, like
Nothing
sales,
like that?
calls, emails. Awful.
So do you have to like hype yourself up?
There was one when we did it like sick, but we had muscle.
Yeah.
It was a slow season. And so we like knock on somebody's door, we talk to them, be happy, we walk out, we're like, oh,
At the end of the day, we got to do it.
crush a can of Red Bull.
Yeah.
Let's go to the next.
Let's go. Keep going. Yeah.
Okay, so do you feel like, because you guys are co-owners, right?
Mhm.
Do you feel like you have different strengths?
Yeah.
Sure. Uh-huh.
So how do you feel like you balance each other out? Like, do you guys butt heads at all, or do you feel like you're pretty good?
I feel like we,
Pretty good.
we work well together. I feel like he has some strengths. Like he's kind of having to take the role of, like going, talking to people. He's more people person aspect. I'm
Mhm.
kind of more of like, I can tell you what I'm doing, and I can help you, but there's a certain extent I can go to. Like,
Very direct, very professional.
yes,
You write down everything you do,
Pretty
good
much.
stuff. I kind of wait more often than
Mhm.
you or me.
That's me.
So you guys did mention, I think prior to when we started recording, that your business has changed. So how has your business changed from day one?
First 2 years, it was a different management. Because it was one buddy that brought me in, and he had somebody else with him.
Right.
And those two were awful.
Oh
I'm
no.
not naming any names.
No.
But those two, they ran the company very different.
Just say Voldemort.
First 2 years, exactly. First 2 years. And we just didn't do things right.
Yeah, we kind of looking back at it, we're just like, why would they do it this way? Like, why? Like, absolute no sense. And then the way we run it now, we're just like, man, if we would have done this from day one, we would have been in a different situation.
I feel like that's what makes it hard to look back on things and be like, and you're always growing and learning as a business owner, but look back and be like, oh.
Like, why didn't we do it this way to get started?
Exactly. Yeah.
I think that's a big part of like owning a business and growing and adapting, and there's always going to be that, right? Like how many years from now you might be like, dang, we were doing it like this, even further. So, okay. Who is, okay, what would you say your ideal client is?
Ooh,
I have different opinions.
Okay,
yeah.
go ahead.
I would say it's for the IT services, like an ideal client would be someone has like an accounting firm or a manufacturing firm, and they have like 10 to 15 users. That would be like an ideal situation. Because the thing with our business is, yeah, we can fix computers, but we do more than just that. We deal with cybersecurity. We deal with software assistance and just setting up computers, all that. There's a lot more to it than just fixing a computer.
Yeah.
Like there's a network infrastructure and so forth. So I feel like if a manufacturing firm was to come up to us like from the ground up, we would set them up in a way where like it's just smooth for them.
Yeah.
They never have to deal with technical issues. I mean, obviously you'll have here and there, but at least it's gonna be like smooth sailing. They don't have to deal with constant issues.
Coming in and having to attach up somebody else's work.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Sure.
Walking in and just doing it everything like from the ground up yourself. So I know you like your clients to be very, very communicative. How do you say that?
Yeah.
That way is how it's like, communicative.
But yeah, you like that when they answer quick and when something goes wrong and they tell you, hey, Sergio, this is happening. Because a lot of calls we get are from our clients and like, hey, my computer is doing something. That's his description.
Yeah.
What do you mean? We have a computer issue.
Yeah. Can you
So what are you talking about?
Yeah.
When this happened? I don't know. What do you mean you don't know?
That's a point.
For building computers, like the custom keyboards, I've had a few clients that are like, here's my budget, build something like this, take your time, and I'm gonna let you kind of take the lead on it. Like, okay, it's good.
No, that's awesome.
That lets me do my thing. So
Okay, so how much you're in IT, like how much is AI affecting things today? Like I've heard some interesting stories about AI and security now too.
it's a blessing and a curse.
Mhm.
because on the building computer end, it's definitely bad because RAM.
Really?
I don't know if you like looked up RAM prices. If you're feeling it's crazy, like 3,000% type.
What? Why?
It's all going into the AI computing systems.
They're building these big old warehouses, tons of servers, and so bigger companies like we sell NAS systems. It's just hard drive clusters, pretty much. So you buy 10 of the same hard drives to keep backups to everything. And that whole company, Western Digital, was like, hey, we're just going to sell these to the AI people. And so any consumers, it costs a lot of money. But I guess the blessing part is that Windows 11 uses a lot of AI to update their things, and it goes wrong. And then more people need help with computers.
So you're like, hey,
And so we're like, hey, so yeah, every time AI does something, we get a phone call.
Yeah. Hey, my computer's not working. Great, we're going on site.
Huh?
Yeah. No, it's been strange to kind of adapt to it as well because, like Josh said, computer hardware has gone up in price. Even just like not even custom computers, but also like your standard desktops and laptops, they've gone up in price dramatically. Just because everything's every manufacturer is trying to go towards AI, so they're just hiking up prices on hardware.
We're still trying to find ways to like implement some AI. We know there's very big limits to what it can do
right?
in its current like infancy. But even things like right now we're talking about phone systems when people call and you're unavailable, or after hours.
Yep, there's a
People
lot
call
of
at 7 o'clock and they could still book it. It gets put on a file that y'all can see and everything gets taken care of. Using AI for something like that could be, we're gonna like be implementing that, pitching that too. And that's a good one, but I'm going to run my whole business on AIs right now.
Yeah, there's definitely still some things to be worked through with that.
It's fun for video making, though.
No,
Not professional videos.
not professional.
Just fun.
Yeah, it's the worst.
So you guys have a couple different components to the business. Is there one that you're primarily focused on, or do you feel like it's pretty equal across the board?
So I would say a side of the business would be the IT. That's the one. The way we initially thought of like having it work is the IT side brings in obviously recurring costs and that helps kind of fund Josh's side of it with helping him go to these conventions and having inventory to kind of back up on and vice versa. He gets income from all the inventory he sells and it feeds, the IT sites, employees and all that. That's how we initially wanted to work, but kind of, it flip flops here and there.
Every month is kind of, which is good because I have a retail side and a services side, because month's retail is going to be higher up, like especially on Christmas. I do better around Christmas.
Oh,
For IT stuff around Christmas.
Yeah, because everyone's like out of the office or just out on vacation.
So retail goes up and services go down, and then big services go up and retail goes down around like other slower months.
So because you said there is so much competition, what do you think is something that sets y'all aside as a business?
I'd say we can focus a lot more on those smaller, like 2 to 10 to 20 people companies, because the big guys like book them, or they give them a price that's way too high, or they the bottom tier service, and they just kind of one of those like, oh, if they drop us, who cares?
Oh, okay.
Because the big guys can afford to do that.
Right. That's smart. I like that with like the little niche brands.
About how many cons would you say sending to show off your computers?
The big ones. So maybe around 7 a year, 6 or 7 a year, depending on which year. And sometimes we go to more small shows, kind of feel it out.
Yeah.
But the big shows that we're here, like what we usually go to. So yeah, like 7. I think we got one a month from now.
Yeah.
Over in first time going to Louisiana.
Yeah, that should be
Fun.
Yeah, mostly because it's 5 minutes away from the casino.
Don't spend all your earnings.
Yeah, that's how you make more money. Double down.
Yeah.
You sell the keyboard, take the money, throw it to the roulette.
Oh my gosh.
We'll either lose it or win it all.
What is something that you would like the public to know, like about IT?
How mean can I be? No,
Be mean.
I'll let you go.
I would say it can be simple as like for IT, it can be simple as like turning it off. And
I always think of that as like when I call it, like, did you turn it off and turn it back on?
it
works surprisingly.
It works like mostly all the time.
Well, you are working across so many different generations in terms of like how much technology they grew up with too. So that's interesting.
Yeah, I would say that, and then also it can be very complex. Like people can say like, "Oh, you just fixed it," like as flick of a switch, but it can be very complex as well. It could be a simple solution or it could be a very complicated solution. But as long as people are patient with us, then we'll resolve it.
Because sometimes I go through a list to find out what the issue is.
Yeah.
I had that yesterday when we were trying to fix someone couldn't print to a printer on this one computer. And they had some other weird antivirus you could
Mhm.
but we figured it was doing its job. And we went through, installed a few things, checked drivers, went through all these different steps, and it turns out their antivirus was just awful.
Yeah, not
They're-
their old IT company. It's all done, but
and it turns out that computer had like 50 viruses. But like that was the issue, but it's one that you didn't think of because they have antivirus. But that antivirus is bad. So it's like, oh, it's as simple as an antivirus, but you got to go through so many steps. That could also be causing, when someone brings me a computer, there's something wrong with it. I was like, it's one of like 15 things.
Just figuring out what that is.
Yeah. And it could be one of many things. Advice for IT.
I would also say don't click.
Stop clicking phishing emails.
Yeah, that's like the number one thing.
It happens so often.
If you see it, let's not click it.
Dr. Page is guilty of that.
No,
One time.
no.
It's like, quick, turn it.
Oh,
You don't even have to type anything. You click it, it's over.
Oh my god.
just click it.
It's so fast. Actually, that is one thing that AI is doing too. They're getting better at making scams and making spam things and AI to like infect other computers. AI in general is just
It's pretty wild. I have a patient who took like corporations, and they were talking about AI, and apparently there was this big hospital that I don't know, some scammers were able to use AI to record. They had a recording of the president's voice, and they were able to put that in and have him call the hospital and be like, "Hey, you need to unlock this area," using like it sounded like his voice. And they had somebody waiting to like go in there, and it was nuts. I'm like, that's crazy. And she's like, you would never know it sounded just like him.
I think it's because so many people have like access to it now. Because
Yeah.
there's always been like the deep fake and faking all this type of stuff. But now your everyday joke,
Yeah.
they have access to that like technology. I can make a video of Sergio saying, "Hey, it's fast." I could do it in like 10 seconds. And that's crazy.
Okay, so because you say like, this is if you think of geeky stuff. So what's the geekiest thing about y'all?
Trying to think.
Do you dress up for Comic-Con?
Yeah.
Great guy.
Right where it's like costume while he's like selling stuff. It's
What's he usually dressed up as?
what was he? It was Cloud.
Yeah.
Professor.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, he was that. What's some nerd all the stuff we did and stuff.
Yeah, pretty much.
Be at the gym scrolling, looking at like single board computers and like how to wire different things. It's like, oh man.
Dang, I think you saw I am. I would say, yeah, I guess, I don't know. I would just say the job in general. It's just the job in general.
I love it.
I love computers, so I can't. It's always been something I wanted to do. So.
No, that's
Are
great.
glasses worse to non-glasses worse? If you're honest, tilted more towards your side.
Wow.
I love it. Okay, so what's one of the weirdest situations you've had in your business with a client?
Ooh, how much can I say? On a hardware side, I've had a client where we had to actually not allowed into our office because roaches got into his power supply. It shorted it. And so the power supply stopped working because it shorted it. And there was more in there that were not dead.
Oh no.
And we're like, dude, they're going to get in our walls.
Yeah, it was.
You have to take this out.
Thank you for not doing
The software side, we've had a few clients with viruses on their computers, and a few of those were from sources of lewd content. Let's just say that. Let's leave it at that.
That's perfect.
Very professional.
Yeah, we're just like, oh,
Oh.
we need to get this out.
Yeah. All right, we need to get it out. Yeah.
It's usually like the 90-year-old lady.
Yeah, that's what it was. So the virus is not. You got it, and then you see him like 2 months later. Did it again. Even worse.
It's crazy because he'll have it on his homepage.
Josh, you've made quite a few custom-built computers. The ones that you've created.
The one that blew up that got me popular first.
I need to.
That was fun.
I have to post it like you do on the background.
My biggest regret one that really blew up. Like I'm talking like it got on Vice News.
Oh,
Was it
no.
Vice? It was Vice. It was there was some lewd streamer girl, then Bella Delphine, and she got famous because she sold her bathwater on the internet.
Ew.
I know it's gross, but me and my buddy were like in our 20s and we're like, hey, it'll be funny. And he pitched to me and like, so I made one of like a mock. I did one of a mock-up of it and like put my face on it and stuff. I just put it on Craigslist as like a funny joke. And people found it on Reddit, and then Vice picked up on it, and like I think it was on like 4 other things. Everyone thought it was like really gross. So I was like, it's a joke, guys, please.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
It wasn't really a normal cool one. We actually have me and Ray teach a class, homeschool class over at Pearlands, and they looked me up because they met
Oh,
us
no.
because talked to them, and they were like, "Oh yeah, I looked you up. I found it." I was like, "Oh
Found the article.
Yeah.
I was like, disregard that."
Good.
It was
Not a deviant, right?
my crawl.
Not like those old 80-year-old women.
No.
Okay. Well, for our listeners, if they want to get a hold of you, what's the best?
I usually give my phone number out to everyone, but if phone number stuff on Instagram, we gotta do a lot of social media stuff. Usually, when people like professional IT stuff, it's an email or you call, "Sergio, I had an issue with this," or "Hey,
Much.
I need to install 10 cameras over here. I need to have these 3 computers. Let's do it." Bam, phone call, easy.
Nice and easy.
Also, people have reached out to me on like Reddit before, like, "Hey, can you build this?" Yeah, let's do it. But yeah, for
Bad.
business side of that, and it was awful.
You did.
Can you build another one?
Yeah, I was
gonna say
that. That's for another.
I think I did, and I was like, I'm not gonna do that, man.
No.
Did you sell that one?
Yes, I did. I was like, take it, man. I sold it for like way less than I like published it for.
Mhm.
So I was like,
Yeah.
Get out of here.
I don't want this to do anymore.
Well, if it's custom now, you could really put a price on it. Something
Right.
funny. Some things just aren't worth it.
Well, thank you guys for being on our show. We'll link all that information in the show notes, and we'll see you guys next week.
Cool.
That was super easy, right?
It was so
You've been listening to Houston Hustle, celebrating the entrepreneurs who are shaping our city. If you enjoyed this episode, subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone building their own dream. Until next time, keep building, keep learning, and keep hustling.